Hey girl, I want to catch your wave. And welcome back to Finway Productions. Where I bet y'all thought it was over. I bet y'all thought I was done. You guys thought I was gonna, you know, back down from the challenge I said I wasn't going to. And no, I really thought I was going to. I really thought about it there for a while, but that's a story for a different time. I will make a video about why I was gone for so long. That'll be probably actually later today. And I'm sorry, I really am. But let's just get right into chapter 26. Confessions. Theo's heart began to race the moment she heard her name being called. Although she knew who it was, she didn't turn around. She didn't make any gesture to look at her. All she did was hang her head lower than it already was, her ears seeming to droop, and the tears continued to stream down her face. Continuing, she was already crying. It's been 3 weeks since I read this story, and I'm not, making a point to remember anything that happened, besides the important part. She could hear her galloping hoof on the muddy road becoming louder and louder, clear indication that she was approaching her. However, she couldn't let her stop her from what she was doing. She had already made up her mind, and she was sticking to it no matter what. Julio called again, as she started her gallop to a trot, hoping to catch her breath so that she could talk. "What are you doing?" When she got to Julio, she stopped and began panting heavily. She looked at the white field before her. The small curl in her mane unraveled from the drizzle that came pouring down. What? I don't know, that sounds weird. The drizzle that came pouring down, it just sounds contradicting. I can use big words too, Mr. Author Man. Although her back was to her, she could see that he was scared and nervous about leaving. How do you know that she's leaving? Like, I know going up to a forest and looking at it's weird, which, yes, it is, but how do you know? Plot convenience is how she knows. None of that matter now. All that mattered was stopping Will from making a terrible mistake. What does it look like? The unicorn fairly asked, trying to make her voice sound cold and flat, but the deep sadness she felt prevented it. Running away. Running away? Her eye widening in shock and horror. Why, though? Hey? I assume that means hell. Why the hell would you be doing that? Why do you care? She asked coldly. Why am I think the 3-week break made me forget that I don't put emotion into reading their voices. That wasn't cold anyway. That was just sassy. As she continued to walk away, she was further as she could see the anger Hugo was trying to express. Of course I care, she said, her tone firm. I wouldn't be standing here trying to stop you if I didn't care. This chapter's really long. No one's gonna make this to the end of this video. Yeah, sure you are, Philly said sarcastically. I thought her deepened sadness was preventing her from making a motion. Guess not. You're probably just here to throw it in my face some more or make me feel worse than I already do. Now she was angry. Ooh, angy. Whoa. Don't talk to me like this is my fault. Need I remind you that you who did this, you were the one that kissed me, remember? He stopped walking again, let out a soft sigh. She knew she was right. That it wasn't her fault she was doing this. However, she knew she needed to do this, whether it was because of her or not. I really want to play Skate 3 right now. It doesn't matter anyway, says Milo. I've made up my mind, and that's fine. It's better for us if I left. That way, you won't have to look at me ever again for the rest of your life. And I won't have to worry about being tormented and humiliated for the rest of my life. Tormented? Humiliated? You know, what in the world? I'm not going to name question, but what in the world are you talking about? Pegasus Philly. I'm not. You know, people. I don't know if anybody's ever wondered why I don't use the lingo for this. Lingo, the lingo. That's a. For, you know, this fan base, I guess. And it's because it's the exact reason you think it is. I don't care enough. Like, you don't know. Why'd I use so much emotion? No. What am I what am I turning into? Feeling the tears beginning to stream from her eyes. I know you told somebody about what happened. You probably felt awful. You felt awful. That feel terrified. Probably all of Ponyville knows what happened by now. I'm not going to spend the rest of my life being made fun of for what I did. What are you talking about? After all, I didn't tell anybody about what happened. First of all, I wouldn't have done that to a friend. Secondly, I've been stuck indoors because of the passing storm. Even if I wanted to tell anybody about it, I couldn't because I didn't see anybody after you left. I went straight home. I don't think you're stuck inside because of a passing storm. I think you can go out now. Your parents might not want you to, but you can be done. It's not like there's 8 feet of snow blocking your door. You know, I seem why the food were. Wave of relief washed over her, and she felt the anxiety of everybody knowing about what she did and exiling her from town flashed out of her mind. However, you don't. What? This isn't 1900, where if you're gay, you get kicked out of town. Whatever. It still didn't convince her who wanted to be her friend anymore. Not after what had just happened. That doesn't change anything. She began to walk in. I've decided to leave and that's final. Besides, it's probably what you would want to. Oof, the tears beginning to well up inside. We'll see. But she watched her friend walking away. She could only imagine what she was going through right now. It was far worse than what she herself was going through. This is too emotional. What? Ew. What I would want? She began to follow her. What do you mean by that? I don't want you to leave. What makes you think What would make you think something like that? This is way too emotional. Ew. Gross. Okay, stop walking. Her eyes stinging from the tears that were there. Oh my gosh. What? Quit. Why the look on your face, Goose? I knew it. I know what you were thinking. I knew what you were thinking. You don't want to be my friend. You don't want me as your friend anymore. You probably don't even want to ever want to even want to see my face around here ever again. So I'm going to be reinforced. Maybe a manticore will tell me up or a cockatrice. What the fuck? Will turn me into stone for the rest of my life. That way you'll never see me again. That's interesting. We're not even halfway through this chapter yet. You'll continue to walk, still not turning back to look at her friend. However, she only took a few steps forward before she found herself unable to move. She tried moving forward, but found that something was holding her back. Her eyebrows furrowed. It became clear what was happening. She didn't have to turn around and holding her tail with her hoof, preventing her from going anywhere. Without turning around, Fiona furrowed her eyebrows and said in an annoyed voice, "Letting me go." You know I can't do that. Not till we've talked about this. There's nothing to talk about. Just let me go. What do you mean, nothing to talk about? Who shouted? Oh, shouted. I'm not gonna yell. You have everything to talk about. I can't just pretend that none of this happens, Weevil. I have questions, and you're the one who can answer them. Ergo, no kid their age is gonna use that. I've never used that word in my life. I mean, I know what it means, I just never used it. In elementary kids will? Sure. You're not going anyway till we talk about this. Not seeming to listen to her, we will desperately try to get her tail free by tugging as hard as she could. Law and Order Special Victims Unit. She opened the mud beneath them with slick enough to allow her tail to fly out from her. Woof, woof. However, with every tug she could feel pain running through her flank. Again, Law and Order Special Victims Unit. After several attempts to free herself from the reptile's grip, she stood and let out a deep sigh. At this point, she felt it was pointless to try to run away from her, not without telling her what she wanted to know. Whatever, that's nitpicky. Are you gonna cooperate? Asked Lou. She whipped her flattened range from her eyes. Is it really raining that hard? An annoyed sigh was all Sweevel's response. Seeing that Sweevel wasn't struggling anymore, she lifted her hoof off her tail. When she did, she was unicorn. Billy only lowered her body in shame, almost like she didn't want to talk to her about anything. No shit, Sherlock. However, she knew she had to try to get some clarification from her, whether she was willing to comply or not. Getting the idea that she wasn't going anywhere, Billy hurried over to her face, looking her in the eyes as she told her what she needed to hear. Hoping to look into her eyes as she told her what she needed to hear. I can't read, once again. However, when she immediately squeezed her eyes shut and turned her head, trying to avoid making eye contact with her. Who picked up on this and raised an eyebrow. What are you doing? She asked as she cocked her head at her friend. Why aren't you looking at me? Because I can't, she explained, as she squeezed her eyes tighter than she thought she could. Why can't you? Because if I do, she exclaimed, tears leaking from the corner of her eye, the feeling will come back and it'll happen again. Wide-eyed in confusion, who asked, the feeling? What feeling are you talking about? Bill had a small sigh. She said, the feeling I felt you for a while. For the past few days now. I forgot the story takes place over fucking a week. It's interesting. It's the same feeling as only 222, 3 twos, kiss you. Still confused, what kind of feeling are we talking about? Then she heard her mumble something, because she said it low, and her face was turned away from her. It was very difficult to make out what she said. So, she asked, sorry, but I didn't hear you. What did you say? Again, she mumbled something. This time it was much lower than it was the first time she said it. Noscoon was beginning to get annoyed at her. She was getting sick and tired of playing this game with Hugo. She answered and she was going to do whatever she needed to get them. For God's sake, Hugo, she says, he slumped her hoof about this. I can't hear your words, it's love, okay? He practically shouted, interrupting her friend. You put it in all caps, I don't think that's practically shouting. And how do you practically shout? I don't know. I'm not even gonna... Interrupting her friend. Then she lowered her head in the muddy road and began crying. Unsure what we would make of it. That's interesting. Again, this is too much feelings for me. She stood there at a complete loss for words. The moment this word left Hugo's mouth, her own heart began to race. She might have understood that she had a crush on her, but the word well out was a little too much for her to bear. In fact, she didn't see the logic in it either. Or she didn't want to. But isn't that what a crush is? Or do you just like someone? Story's hurting my brain. Love? She asked, her voice almost in a quiet whisper. Okay, I'm gonna whisper it. You. That's 3 U's. Knowing what she was trying to say, what she was going to say, or what she was trying to say in italics, we didn't want to answer in a low voice. Yes, I've, that's 2 I's and 1 I've, fallen in love with you. For several moments, the two of them stood there, the light drizzle pouring down on them both. Again, the drizzle pouring down on them just sounds weird. Neither of them could find the right words to say at this point. All they could do was stand there. Who was staring at her unicorn friend? Well, we all tried her best to hide both her tears and her face from the photos. Then Scooby asked the only question that she could at the moment. The only one that floated her mind, the one that seemed the most sensible. How? Okay. Trying her best not to look into her eyes, she already had ever so slightly and said, "It happened several days ago when we tried bungee jumping, remember?" She nodded her head, recollecting what had happened in her mind. Well, we were helping you heal your wound. You were... What? Okay, I'm not even gonna say anything. Wounds, he continued, not sure if she could bring herself to finish the sentence. I don't get what's the problem in that. However, she didn't need to say any more. When I hugged you. Still not making eye contact with you, Haley simply nodded and said, that when the feeling first started. Ever since then, I've been developing feelings for you. That when finally he made a mistake that I can make fun of. Yes. Okay, we're at 16 minutes and we're like a fucking half and a quarter way through. What kind of feelings? Well, I'm not sure she could bring herself to say them. Slowly she began to name the feelings that overcame her whenever she looked at school. From the flashing jeans to the blanket staring, the unicorn really told her everything. I'm going to talk kind of fast because I'm not trying to get this over 20 minutes because then nobody would watch it. As she spoke, Scoob could only sit on her haunches and stare at her, absorbing everything she was telling her. As she did, all the questions in her mind seemed to vanish within seconds. It was almost as if there weren't any questions at all in the first place. The feelings always seem to intensify whenever I look into your eyes. That's why I can't look you in the eyes. It feels like nothing else in the world matters except us. Scoob directed her attention to the tears that began to stream from her friend's eyes. As she stood there, the thoughts in her own head began blurring with one another. She didn't know what to say or do now. At first, I thought it was our friendship getting stronger or something. Continues to bring Scoob out of her own thoughts. But the longer I thought about it, the more I felt it, the more I allowed it to sink in until I realized this is much stronger than friendship. Well, I can't really explain why it happened, but it did. You asked your sister, that's how you figured out. You didn't let it sink in. I guess. Out my neck. But, Lulu began to say. However, she couldn't find any words to say to her. She had spent the past few days coming up with questions for the one, but now after hearing what Lulu was going through and her feelings she had for her, she couldn't find any of the questions in her memory bank. Interesting. Thinking she knew what she was going to ask, Squiggle said, I made up Scott to try to hide my feelings for you. I was too scared to tell you the truth. Tell you how I really feel for you. Unfortunately, that only made problems worse, especially when everybody wanted so much to meet him. And you didn't foresee that? You used big words and you're in elementary. I think you could foresee that. At this point, so focused her gaze on the ground, letting the thought sink in. When she thought about it now, she realized what she was going through was extremely difficult. She had no idea what she was feeling for her in this way. Not to this extreme. If the choice was for you of returning her love, who wasn't hard enough to make before, it was definitely hard now. She didn't want to break her heart, nor did she want to get involved in something she really knew nothing about. Neither one of you know anything about this. Look, who else had tears still flowing from the voice of I understand you don't feel the same way of me, the same way I feel for you. I just want you to know that I do love you, even though you clearly don't love me in return. That's why I'm running away. So you don't ever have to worry about seeing my face in town over again. I'm really sorry for lying to you, and I hope you can find it in yourself to forgive me. But I have to do this for both of us. That reminded me of a bad memory. And it's not what you'd think. All Poodle do was watch as Leo stood up straight, her eyes fixated on the muddy road. She slowly began to trot, refusing to look her friend in the eyes. When she was standing next to her, all she could do was whisper quietly, "Let's go, Lou." With that, Hale walking again, heading into the dark, murky forest, not turning back. As much as she didn't want to do this, she knew who be whistling. She knew it was the right thing to do. It was better for the two of them this way. She kept reassuring herself there was no other choice. There's many other choices. As all the thoughts began racing through her mind, with the feelings she had felt during the storm coming to light, she really knew what she had to do. It wasn't out of guilt or remorse or even something. It was because she knew it had to be done. Don't be doing that. Furthermore, when she really thought about it, she knew it was true. It needed to be brought out together. Wait. Sincerely said the paper severely, softening it more filling her tracks. There's, that's two there's. Something I need to tell you. I think that's somebody, like, screaming or something, not whistling, but whatever. Confused, my voice cracked when I said whistling, and unsure of what she could possibly have to say, she was hurrying back around and looked at whose back was facing her. Wiping the excess tears from her eyes with her sweet voice. What is it? Not taking her face, she said, I have something to tell you. But you have to do something for me first. Okay. Whitely, heart pounding in her chest. What do you... You have to look me in the eyes, and really listen to what I have to say. Tears began welling from inside her. Again, Sweetwell said, I can't do that. You know what happened if I... Please, Sweetwell, she interrupted. Please. Slowly and surely, she began making her way to her friend, her heart racing and tears streaming from her eyes. I'm not crying, I'm trying to laugh. That sounds like I would, like, cry talking, but I'm not, I promise. Her heart racing and her tears streaming from her eyes. Soon she sat next to Philly, who was looking down with her eyes closed. At the moment Philly knew she was next to her, she turned her head and opened her eyes and looked at her friend. The moment their eyes connected, both of their hearts raced, and the feeling from before began overflowing within Sweetwell. She was lost in the moment now, a moment where nothing else mattered, except the two of them. She didn't know what she was going to do or what she was going to say, but the feeling, it wasn't going to be good. She had a feeling it wasn't going to be. Then something unexpected happened that shocked both Billy and a heartbeat. With no warning or anything, so she closed her eyes lightly and pressed her lips against Sweetwell's. Ew. Gross. Like, what were two of nothing more than the connection of their lips? Sweetwell's eyes wide my shot, much less smooth for the first time they kissed. She seemed, however, this time felt that it was much more natural than it was before. Like, this is how it was supposed to be in the first place. Feeling a sense of comfort and normalcy. I know that word, I promise. She closed her eyes as well, following their kiss the last several long moments. I thought you said it already ended. It felt like an eternity had passed before they released the kiss. When they did, they both stared into each other's eyes. Both really appeared to be blushing and trying their best not to smile, even though they both failed in doing so. We both said after several long moments ago. Does this mean that you, two that yous? She simply nodded as she smiled. I've been doing a lot of thinking during this storm that just passed, and even more so now. But when I conclude this, you were my very first friend I had to feel, even before we met out here. I guess in a way, I've always felt the same way about you. I guess it just might have been a little bit better at hiding it than you were. Really? Poor Billy, her tears becoming tears. Do you really mean that? Susan nodded as he wrote her on for a romantic embrace. That's a Sims thing. You can do that in The Sims 3. I used to do that all the time on the Wii. Sims 3 Wii was the shit. They wrapped their arms around each other, enjoying every moment of it. That's who herself in the community. Something that she herself didn't expect to say. That's not how that works. Really, Sweetwell. They released their embrace. No doing school is not fun play. I love you too, Sweetwell. Gross. Ew, feelings and shit. Gross. When they released their embrace, we said, now let's go to Valleyville, where we both belong, shall we? I'm not going to finish the rest because this video is getting kind of long. I will make a video explaining why I was gone so long later. This is Finway Productions, signing out.